Hey, Devlin here. I wanted to take this time to personally wish each and every one of you a happy Pride Month. I love Pride Month, and for me, it's Pride is every day. It always has been, always will be. I guess being a gay man, that's just the way it is. I love that Pride gets talked about a lot more than it used to. Being an older guy, I've seen days when Pride was almost like Pride events were like almost secrets, and trying to find where a Pride festival would be was almost impossible. But it's nice to see that it's more open. I'm seeing more talk of it on social media and stuff like that. Sadly, a lot of the talk I hear about is, who's not raising the pride flag. And I wish we would pay more attention to the people that were raising their pride flags and not as much. It all seems to be oh, I can't believe they're not going to be flying the pride flag. Look, I get the importance of the pride flag, but for me, as I said, I celebrate pride every day of my life. And I think no matter if you're gay, straight, trans, you should be proud of yourself, and that's what you should be concentrating on. Yes, I would love to see the pride flag waving all month through the month of June, but to me, pride is the coming out stories that I hear, the love stories. I don't care if you're pan, if you're gay, if you're trans, if you're binary, if you're lesbian, yeah, and even if you're straight. It's the stories of your life and your experiences and your love stories that, to me, is an inspiration. So yeah, I would love to see the pride flag waving, but I think I'd rather hear the personal stories more. But that's just me. And if you are flying your pride flag out in front of your home or having it up in your living room, then by all means do so. Because as I said, I like to attend the Pride event here and there. I celebrate it in my own way, but I celebrate it all the time. This year is an even special year for me to celebrate. Yes, 2021 has not been my favorite year, but the reason I'm celebrating it even more is, and I am going to cry, is this is the 20th anniversary of my partner Mike and I being together. I can't believe it's been 20 years. It's not only been 20 years that we got married, but 20 years that we have lived together. And I look forward to 20, 40 years more with him. Don't do the math, I won't be around in 40 years. 20? Yeah, I'll make that. I hope. But, we didn't get married traditionally because it wasn't allowed for us to. But we don't like weddings, so for us, it didn't mean much. I love that people can do it now, but for us, we were happy to just do it our own way. We actually picked this time of year because not only were we moving in together, but it was Pride Week that week in Hamilton when we decided we were going to get married spiritually. So we went to a Pride event with our good friend Corda. We danced until like 2 o'clock, went to a place to sleep for about 2 hours. Then me and Mike, got up, drove to a wonderful park called Bayfront Park, and we decided to, as the sun came up, that we would just stand before God and give vows to each other. It was very quick, there were no witnesses, but we were standing in front of God, telling him that we would be together, and here it is, 20 years later. We didn't care there was no ceremony. We didn't care that we didn't have friends around us because we knew the friends that loved us were going to still be there when we got home. After we exchanged vows, we got a couple of hash browns at McDonald's and went home and caught up on sleep because we were exhausted. And we began our life together. For us, it wasn't a big deal to get married, but I'm so happy to say that 20 years later, so much progress has been made. And I love that there are people who are now able to get married. And if you guys have done it, or you gals have done it, or whoever, I'm proud of you for doing that. It wasn't a big thing for us, but I am glad that we are allowed. I know we've made so much progress, but being a gay man, being anybody in the, LGBT, if I've left any out, it wasn't intentional, community, I believe there's still a long way to go. And not just in the world, but in our own communities. I remember seeing prides just starting up in Hamilton, and seeing them grow from like handfuls of people to big crowds. And I don't go to a lot of pride festivals. I still like to, promote them and go to them as much as I can, but I've seen that we as a community have almost come apart too. It seems the more we don't want to be labeled, we add more labels to each other. And that's okay. We all want to be identified as who we are, and I totally respect that. But we need to learn to listen to other people. And I think what I'm seeing a lot in the community is we're splitting up. We all want our own identities, and there, as I said, nothing wrong with that. But the truth is, we can't stomp on other identities to get it. We've all fought to be where we are, and if you are still fighting, come on, we're going to be fighting till our last day on earth. And that's for everybody. It's just who we are, and that's what we should be. We should constantly remind ourselves not only where we want to go, but where we've been. But it's important that we don't bring ourselves down. You can be who you want to be, and let the world know who you want to be, and I want to hear who you are. But you don't have to stomp on everybody else to get there. If we totally talk about the equality that we always talk about when it comes to pride, we need to get back to that. And I think we've lost a lot of that. And I hope and pray that that's where we head. Yes, the world still has a lot of headway to go, but our own community does too. And we need to take responsibility when that happens as well. Anyhow, I hope you celebrate Pride no matter how you do it. Whether you celebrate it with your own bubble or that, or if you wait till we're open again and we can start celebrating. If you want to celebrate it just with that one significant person in your life, or just gather some friends around. However you want to celebrate Pride, I'm just happy that you're going to do it. So again, don't worry about the places that aren't waving the flag, just as long as you're waving your own flag. And keep doing that, because that is what makes you, you. I'll be waving my flag, and I hope you're waving yours. Happy Pride.